This is The Game of Life.
Welcome to the Game of Life Mentoring Podcast. I'm your host, Gale Nelson, President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, and I'm in studio with my guy, Alumni little brother, and now Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami board member, and he's also co-chair of the Impact Circle. We're going to talk about that. Our young professionals group at Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. Anthony, welcome to the show, little bro.
Thanks, Gale. Thanks for having me, as always.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. And so the last time we sat down, we talked a little bit about young professionals. We talked about your mentoring journey, if you will, which we're going to touch on that again today. But you were single the last time you were on the show. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I recently just got married March 2022. Thank you.
Congratulations. So,
Yes.
so beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful. And so let's talk about family. You know, when we think about as we are now in the holiday season and friends and family, and mentoring is all about family.
100%.
Talk about how you first got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Sure. So around the age of 10, 11, my mom, who was a single mom was a single mom for the duration of the time she raised my brother and I, she was looking to have more male role models in our lives. So she found out about the Big Brother Big Sister organization. She enrolled my brother first, and we were both kind of hesitant to get involved at first because we've had a couple men that have been in our lives and then kind of drifted out. And we were like, okay, we don't want to have another mentor, another guy that's not going to be here for the long term. So born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio.
OHIO.
Yes. At the time, one of the Cincinnati Reds baseball players was a big. So she kind of tried to convince us to be involved in the program with the potential opportunity of being matched with Sean Casey, who was a first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds at the time. We go on with it. My brother gets matched first with a big. And then that started to go very well with them, and his big was like, well, I'll just take Anthony on too. So ever since that day, when I was 11, I'm 32 now, I've stayed in touch with this, who I call my real brother today. He's taught me so much. He's taught me how to interview. He's taught me how to shave. He's taught me how to speak to young women, right? Very important. And to this day, I'll be seeing his family for Thanksgiving this Thursday. So it's done wonders for me. This program has, and David, my big, has also helped me grow as a man.
I had the pleasure of meeting David. It was albeit via Zoom and all of that, but just his humility.
Oh yeah.
And it is clear his love for you and your family.
Yep.
You guys are truly family.
Yep.
And when he found out that you were involved, and a shout out to Kathy List and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Cincinnati.
Great woman.
This incredible woman. And so she will certainly get a copy of this podcast. So as you think about just the national impact, the global impact of mentoring, but when David found out that you were not only getting involved down here, Young Professionals Impact Circle, when he found out you joined the board, what was his reaction?
Well, he was ecstatic. David has obviously been a big. He's on the board in Cincinnati, and the way this conversation had come up, because I'm always trying to follow in David's footsteps, he's the reason why I'm a consultant today. David was a consultant at one point in time. I'm like, oh, okay. He's doing well for himself, and I want to do well for myself, so let me be a consultant too. Same storyline for the board. Like, okay, David sits on the board now. Maybe I should consider that as well. So I called David up. I'm like, hey, David, I want to sit on the board in Cincinnati with you. And he was like, okay, Anthony, we could probably make that happen, but why don't you consider sitting on the board where you live in Miami? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So talked to Kathy. She's like, oh, yeah, Gale's a great guy. You got to meet him. Met you, Gale. And then it was history from there. So, yeah, he's ecstatic that I'm on the board and continuing to give back to this program. which I plan to do as long as I can and as long as you guys keep me around.
Oh no, you're not going anywhere, little bro. And
Yes,
so
yes.
it's so good to see you grow. Again, personally, again from little brother to again business consultant, corporate professional, and it's not lost on me. Again, having one of our littles, intentionality is important
Right.
in the Big Brothers Big Sisters world. And so, and a little, you're our why. Again, let me say that again for all those listening. We're in studio talking to a young man at 11 years of age, single mom in Ohio, the state where I grew up, the beautiful state of Ohio.
Yep.
And I love that mama psychology. So you may be able to meet us in Cincinnati because I know you're big in baseball. You and your brother played baseball,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so your mother trusted Big Brothers Big Sisters with her boys. And to see you grow into the man you are today,
Yes.
here we are, an alumni little brother, a black man on our board. So our focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And not only that, you are one of our leaders. As a young professional, you lead our impact circle. Talk to those who are listening about not only what impact circle is, Anthony, but why it's so important for young professionals to be engaged with their heart, their time, and their treasure with an organization like Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yep. Great question, Gil. So we were just talking about this. Being aligned to something that's bigger than yourself, I think, is very important in life. We've all been through hardships, and we've all had help. And I think what we need to remember is we also have to help. And that is applicable whether you're a young professional or an older professional, right? So I think what we're trying to do here at Big Brother Big Sister of Miami is, from a young professional standpoint, is come together as a group, give back to our community, like-minded young professionals, create a network for ourselves, and try to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. At the end of the day, it's all about helping kids for our group specifically, and we just want to make sure that we do everything that we can to give back to our community.
And I think what I love about our young professionals, our Impact Circle group, is there's this focus. And again, to be fair, and we respect all organizations, but what differentiates Impact Circle here at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Miami is our value proposition.
100%.
I mean, as an alumni little brother, you all will not only, yes, there's a donor side to it. We get that. That's the entry point. But there's also the alignment with our mission. So whether it's food distribution, back to school drive, holiday party, our events, we got some pretty cool fundraising events. Impact Circle will be there every step of the way. And so with that, when people continue to engage with us in those spaces, that's what makes a good Impact Circle member. And so there's young professionals groups out there, and so you have the occasional happy hours and things of that nature.
Right.
But here at Big Brothers Big Sisters, we do it big now, Anthony.
Yep.
And so for those young professionals out there who are looking to get involved, who are looking to not only just network, but truly be a part of something, and I love what you said, bigger than themselves. What do you say to them? So what's that call to action to all young professionals in Miami as it relates to Impact Circle?
Yeah. The call to action is essentially like we're always looking to grow our family from a young professional standpoint. We're always looking for new ideas, and we're always looking for new family members. So if you are involved, if you are interested and want to be a part of our family, please reach out. All of our information is on the Big Brother Big Sister website. We're doing great things. We have a couple of great happy hours coming up that are centered around toy drives. Mm-hmm. So I think you mentioned earlier, Gale, we're not just having happy hours, right? We're also thinking through like, okay, let's have a happy hour, but let's also align that with the mission.
Yes, sir.
And that mission is, at the end of the day, how can we help our community? How can we help young kids? And we want to make sure that our community is well taken care of during the holidays, and we're collecting money. We're bringing in toys to make sure that they have something to look forward to during the holiday season.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about we talked about your Big Brothers Big Sisters journey. And before we wrap up, your journey as a little brother, and now obviously your leadership with Impact Circle. But now as a board member, you talked about your big brother David, and so he sits on the board in Cincinnati, and now you're on the board here in Miami. What's it been like to be on the board? I mean, so you're at the big table now.
Yep. So first off, let me say our board is extremely impressive. Very smart individuals. So right now I'm just taking that fly on the wall type of mentality, just to hear people learn and see where the group is going, and then see where I can add value myself. I'm that type of guy. Like, I don't want to come in just saying, okay, let's change X, Y, Z. I want to see what the group's thinking, and it's just so impressive on like what you guys have done so far as a board team, and where you're going in the future. And I can't wait to be a part of that mission. So I'm very excited to add where I can and grow even further with this group.
And you certainly have added on so many levels. Your presence, the impact of your mentoring journey, as well as but also the support that you have brought in to support the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I am absolutely spoiled as a baby in the family, biased, openly biased. We have the best board in the world. For sure. And so shout out to all of our Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami board members, folks who donate their time, give of their hearts, and certainly give of their treasure as well. And for that, we are always grateful. Anthony, I just want to thank you for just being you. You're so authentic. You're so down to earth. And that just back to the Midwestern values as well.
Yes, sir.
And so to the parents, because you've talked to young professionals. You now are a board member. You've been on the board about 6 months now, give or take. But to the parents, I want to kind of close as we began. Your mom trusted Big Brothers Big Sisters. There's parents out there. There's parents out there who, in some cases, don't know where to turn. And so, again, we have a lot in common on so many levels. I was raised by a single mom in Ohio, in Toledo, not far, just south of where you grew up. For the parents out there that look to organizations that are looking for help, when you look back to that 11-year-old young man, your 11-year-old self, and your mom, even though you and your brother were reluctant, she saw beyond the existing circumstances. And I get what it's like growing up in a single-parent home. It's financial challenges and everything else. Talk to the parents out there.
Yeah, that's a challenging one, Gale, in the sense of like I think through this on a daily basis, and I always wonder, like, if my dad was in my life, man, where would I be today? And I'm kind of glad that the good Lord upstairs set my path how he said it, right? Because when I was in high school, I was very focused on sports, not so much on grades, right? And I think this transition into having a different type of mindset, meaning my big brother, right, step into my life, allowed me to kind of transition my mindset in the sense of, okay, sports aren't everything. You need to do more than sports to make it in this life, for example. So going back to your question, Gale, for those parents that are scared, I would just challenge them to think of all their options. One, meaning like, okay, if you don't have an alternative, why not give this program a shot, right? Because it's proven to work, and I am that proof, right? I've gone through the program, I've stuck with it, and I would never change anything. I would never replace having more time with my dad with my mentor. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I love my dad. We have a great relationship today, but this is what I needed personally. I needed my mentor at the time where he came through for me. So that's my answer personally. I wouldn't change it. I think it was set up for me this way purposely, and it worked out for me.
It sure has.
It worked out for me.
Adults make decisions.
Yeah.
My dad made a decision. He chose self and his own desires and interests over his family.
Right.
I had people in my life that mentored me, that guided me, redirected me. A mom who struggled and sacrificed and put us in position to succeed. And she was limited. She couldn't do it all. What you just said summarizes all of that.
Right.
And I did meet my dad later in life at 18 years of age. But that mentoring journey, people that molded you and shaped you, and you're still in touch with David. Was David in your wedding at all?
Oh yeah, he was in my wedding for sure.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And so it's,
And I was in his.
see, how old were you when you were in his wedding? Do you recall?
I was probably 25.
Look at that.
26, yeah.
And you're like, I want to be like that. I'm going to be a husband one day.
Yep. Yep.
Consultant, board member, husband. And you're all three.
Yep.
Not only that, you're our why. So, Anthony, thank you for your leadership as part of our Impact Circle Young Professionals group. If you're interested in getting involved in Impact Circle, it's not just getting involved. You have to be engaged personally. You must, because we're vetting. Anthony, we're vetting. It's like baseball. No, baseball, they have a draft, right?
Yes.
So we're drafting for Impact Circle. But we don't just, and again, a team doesn't just take any baseball player, right?
Oh, no.
It's like you can't hit the ball.
Yeah.
Your hand-eye contact is a little off. You probably won't be drafted.
Yep. You mentioned this earlier, Gale. We have the best board in the world. So we're trying to follow suit from a young professional standpoint. We want the best of the best here. So.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
BBBSmiami.org. That's BBBSmiami.org. In studio today, having a wonderful conversation, had a wonderful conversation with Anthony Howard, alumni little brother, board member, and our co-chair of our Impact Circle Council. Wishing you all the best for this holiday season, Anthony, and just keep being who you are, because we respect everything about your journey and giving us your heart at Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. All the best, little bro.
Thanks for having me, Gale. Appreciate it.
You got it, partner. Let's go. This is the Game of Life.